Hi guys, let's talk about meiosis or meiosis. Both ways are technically the correct way to say it. So here is the outline. In this video, we're going to do an overview of meiosis in section 2, some genetic variation, 3 phases of meiosis, 4, meiosis compared to mitosis, 5, the cycle of life, and 6, how changes in the chromosome number or the structure affect living things. So let's just dive right in. The importance of meiosis. It introduces an enormous amount of diversity in organisms. Meiosis is what is responsible for making me look different from you guys and me different from my sister, even though we came from the exact same parents. There are more than 70 trillion different genetic combinations possible from the mating of 2 individuals. So lots of genetic variability there. Males and females differ in the way that they make their gametes, which are sex cells. So in humans, those are sperm and egg. In males, sperm production begins at puberty, but in females, the process starts while we are still in utero, while we are still inside of our mother, and it ends when we hit menopause. So males produce sperm from puberty until they die. Just a little interesting tidbit there. Meiosis is a special type of cell division that is only used for sexual reproduction, for the production of gametes. Chromosomes are replicated in the S phase of interphase and then halved prior to fertilization. The parents are diploid and the gametes are haploid, meaning they only have 1 set of chromosomes, whereas the parent cells have 2. Haploid cells contain a single set of chromosomes. If there were no reduction in the chromosome number through meiosis, the number of chromosomes would double with each generation. So the original generation would have 46, the next generation would have 90, whatever that is. I'm not doing math right now. Okay, and after that, it would just double on and on and on and on. So it's important to half the number of chromosomes before we pass them on to the offspring, especially if we're combining them with another organism, because we don't want to double it and double it and double it. Gametes, the sex cells, fuse in fertilization to form a diploid zygote, where you get 1 complete set from mom and 1 complete set from dad, and they fuse together to make the zygote that has the proper number of chromosomes. The zygote becomes the next diploid generation. If events in meiosis go wrong, then the offspring, the zygote, could have the wrong number of chromosomes. In the last section, we're going to talk about what happens with that if the organism does make it to birth. What traits are they going to have? So just sit tight. We'll get there eventually, guys. An overview. Homologous pairs of chromosomes. In diploid body cells, chromosomes occur in pairs. Humans have 23 different types of chromosomes, and we have 2 of each type. Chromosomes of the same type are said to be homologous chromosomes or homologous. They have the same length. The centromere is in the same spot. One of them came from your dad, your paternal, and one from your mom, your maternal. When they're stained in a karyotype, they show similar banding patterns. So here we have a picture. So these are chromosomes that have been stained, and you'll notice that each pair has similar colorations. Okay, they're the same length. You can see that the centromere is going to be in roughly the same spot on both of them. So homologous chromosomes have genes controlling the same trait at the same position. So eye color is on the same position on my maternal and my paternal chromosome. Genes occur in duplicate, a maternal copy from mom and a paternal copy from dad. Many genes exist in several variant forms in a large population. Homologous copies of a gene may encode identical or different genetic information. The variants that exist for a gene are called alleles. Okay, you guys have probably heard that term before. I hope you have. An individual may have identical alleles for a specific trait on both homologous chromosomes, and that would be a homozygous for that trait. When you have one from mom that is different than the one from dad, that's called heterozygous. An example, a gene coding for short fingers on one homologue and one gene coding for long fingers at the same location. Okay, so it controls the same trait, but they're a little bit different. Okay, so this could be eye color, finger length, lots and lots of different traits, hair color. We could go on and on forever. Meiosis is reduction division. So meiosis actually involves two nuclear divisions. We call it meiosis or meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. In meiosis 1, the chromosomes are replicated, and each chromosome consists of two identical sister chromatids. This is where it gets different from mitosis. In meiosis 1, they pair up the homologous chromosomes, the one from mom and the one from dad. They pair up at their synapses, and the chromosomes may recombine or exchange genetic material. Okay, so they swap it. Okay, this is where the genetic variability comes in. The homologous pairs align themselves against each other side by side at the metaphase plate, and they trade genes. And then the two members of the homologous pair separate, and each daughter cell receives one duplicated chromosome from each pair. So the chromosome number is reduced from 2n to n, so 2 sets to 1 set. In meiosis 2, the DNA is not replicated. Okay, big difference there. The sister chromatids separate and move to opposite poles, and we get 4 daughter cells that contain one chromosome from each pair. So each daughter chromosome consists of a single chromatid, and they are haploid. They don't have the 2 sets. They have 1 set of chromosomes. So here we have a picture. Okay, we have a cell going into prophase. Okay, you can see holes in the nuclear envelope. Our chromosomes are going to double. Okay, they double. They're going to separate. Okay, in meiosis 1, and then in meiosis 2, they're going to separate again. So here, I believe, is the diagram that is in your notes, the completed one. So study that. Make sure that you're familiar. We're going to talk about it more. And if you have any questions, let me know.